Hey, if you've ever stood in a small room and just felt stuck, like the walls are closing in, then this is for you. We're about to break down some brilliant advice from designer Gail Greene on how to completely transform those tight spots. These are pro level tricks, but trust me, they're things you can start using like today. Let's get into it. I mean, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That's exactly it. The pinball machine effect. Your eye just ricochets from one thing to the next with no place to land, no sense of calm. It's a kind of visual noise that can make you feel genuinely stressed out in your own home. The space feels restless because, well, it is. And that's the big question, right? How do we actually fix it? Well, the good news is it's not about waving a magic wand or knocking down walls. It's really about having a game plan. It's about understanding a few core ideas that the pros use to bring a sense of harmony into any room, no matter the size. Okay, so let's talk about the real challenge with small spaces. It's so easy to think the problem is just the lack of square footage. But honestly, the bigger issue is usually the lack of a clear strategy. When you don't have a plan, you end up just buying stuff, and that leads to clutter and that pinball effect we just talked about. A good plan changes everything. And this, right here, is the best part. You don't have to throw a ton of money at the problem. Seriously. Great design has never been about who has the biggest wallet. It's always been about who has the smartest ideas. Knowing a few key rules of the game will take you so much further than any expensive sofa ever could. So where do we even begin? Well, it all boils down to four foundational concepts. Think of these as the secrets that, once you know them, will let you look at your space in a whole new way. They're the keys to making design choices that actually work. And here they are: consistency, definition of space, proportion and balance, and focal points. Basically, consistency makes everything feel like it belongs together. Defining space gives every corner a job. Proportion and balance just make a room feel right. And a focal point gives your eye a place to rest. They all work together to create that calm we're after. So let's zoom in on a couple of the big ones. First up, consistency. This is your number one weapon against that pinball effect. When you stick to a similar palette of colors or similar textures and styles, you create this beautiful visual flow. The room starts to feel like one cohesive idea instead of a random collection of stuff. It's the ultimate less is more strategy. And then there's proportion and balance. This one is all about how a room makes you feel. When things are the right size for the space and arranged in a way that feels stable, it creates this sense of security. It's like a quiet little sanctuary from all the stress of the outside world. It's design that literally helps you relax. All right, theory is great, but now for the really fun part. Let's get into some high-impact do-it-yourself tricks. We're talking about the changes that give you the biggest possible results with the least amount of time and money. These are total game changers. So what's trick number one? Paint. It is, without a doubt, the single best bang for your buck update you can possibly make. It's quick, it's pretty cheap, and it can radically change the feel of a room. You know, that standard issue beige or off-white in most apartments? It's usually a cheap, low-quality paint meant to hide flaws. A fresh coat of good paint is an instant, massive upgrade. And with paint, you're basically a magician. You can literally change the perceived size of your room. It's all about how color works. Light and cool colors, think pale blues, soft grays, and whites, they have this receding effect. They make walls feel like they're farther away, which makes the whole space feel bigger. Dark and warm colors do the opposite. They feel like they're coming towards you, making a room feel cozier. You get to choose the vibe. And if you want the ultimate space-making trick, here it is. Paint your walls and your ceiling the exact same shade of a pure reflective white. What this does is it completely erases the line where the wall ends and the ceiling begins. It creates this one seamless, light-bouncing surface that makes the whole room feel way bigger and brighter. It's amazing. Okay, so we've got the walls covered. Let's talk furniture, because there is one super common mistake people make that can turn a normal rectangular room into a long, skinny bowling alley. Let's figure out how to avoid that. So here's the secret, and it feels a little backwards at first. Our instinct is to put the longest piece of furniture, usually our sofa, against the longest wall. But all that does is make a long room feel even longer. The pro move? Put that big piece of furniture against one of the shorter walls. It sounds weird, I know, but it visually squares up the room and makes the whole space feel wider and so much more balanced. And when you're picking out furniture, just keep one word in mind: airy. You want stuff that looks visually light. So think pieces with visible legs so you can see the floor underneath. Or armless chairs, glass coffee tables, Things with thin metal frames. All these things take up less visual space. They let light and your line of sight travel through them, which makes the whole room feel way more open. Oh, and please, for the love of good design, pull your furniture off the walls. I know it's tempting to push everything up against the perimeter, but that just creates a weird, empty dance floor in the middle. Instead, group your furniture together into a cozy little conversation area. This defines the space and it creates clear pathways for people to walk around it, not through it. The flow of the room will improve like you wouldn't believe. So we've gone through the theories and the practical tricks, but let's just take a step back and remember what the real goal is here. This isn't about creating some perfect, untouchable room you'd see in a magazine. It's about creating a home that you genuinely love to be in, a space that works for you. So what's next? Well, you have a couple of paths. You can take all these ideas and just run with them yourself. Do the whole DIY thing, which is awesome because you have total control. Or if you want to take it to another level, you could team up with a designer. There's no right or wrong choice here. It's just about what feels right for you and your home right now. And really, this says it all. This is the whole point. The end game isn't just about having a prettier apartment. It's about how you feel when you walk through that door. It's about creating a home that's a true sanctuary, a place that just feels good to come back to every single day. So I'll leave you with this question. Don't think about a massive overhaul. Just based on what we've talked about, what is the one thing, one small change you can make this week that will get you just a little bit closer to truly loving your space?